Good evening, Scott's off, and tonight we begin with a major announcement from Martin University today. They're now pausing all operations at the end of the semester.
And that means no more classes to start the new year for students there. Matthew Foltz today talked to some graduates who are hopeful that things there can turn around.
Well, right now things are operating as normal here at Martin University, but come next month, that might not be the case following Tuesday's announcement. And community members and alumni of Martin University tell me they're shocked and frustrated by this announcement. In fact, they believe there's a better way of doing things.
It's unsettling, it's frustrating, it's confusing, it's all of those things.
Those are some of the emotions Martin University alum Danelle Howard woke up feeling Tuesday after learning the school would be pausing operations in just a few weeks.
This means a lot to a lot of us.
The university says the Board of Trustees made the decision due to finances and lack of students enrolling. According to the school's website, since 1977, they've only had 1,500 graduates. Howard is one of them and now serves as vice president for the university's Alumni Association.
Martin University must be maintained, it must survive, it has to survive, and it will survive.
Earlier this year, Governor Braun announced the university would not get certain funding that it had in prior years, and the university tells me part of that state funding was a factor.
I was not surprised at all.
Gregory Merriweather is a community strategist, and he believes the university's leadership could have been better.
If Boniface Hardin could start that school in 1977 with a little bit of money, how is it going now in 2025 with the funding that they've had?
And he's now concerned about how this impacts students and families.
What happens to the senior? What happens to the person who is enrolled currently? What happens to the accreditation? Are you going to be able to transfer your credits, or do you now have to start over?
Now, I did reach out to Martin University Board of Trustees chair, but have not yet heard back. I also reached out to the university to ask what now happens for students who are about to graduate, but have yet to hear back on that either. Reporting here in Indianapolis, I'm Matthew Foltz, 13 News.
For the first time since Thanksgiving, we had high temperatures above 40 degrees. Now we're tracking our next weather system with rain and snow in the forecast. Doesn't get here in the next couple of hours, so you do have some dry time ahead of some steadier rain that will arrive around 10, 11 o'clock tonight. A soggy start to our Wednesday. Grab the umbrella. It's still going to be rain to start with temperatures close to 40. However, by mid to late morning, the rain will change to snow as temperatures will fall by this time tomorrow into the low 30s. You can see the arrival of the steadier rain later this evening. It does continue to fall overnight and through that morning drive tomorrow. There will be some wet roads, so maybe allow a little extra travel time. And then by mid-morning, you can see the rain changes over to some bursts of snow. We're not expecting any accumulations aside from a little bit on the grassy areas. That changes potentially with a stronger storm Thursday night into Friday. We've upgraded Friday to a weather impact alert day. I'll explain in the forecast.
Now to the debate over redistricting. It's going to pick back up tomorrow in the Senate with a final vote. We could find out whether this is going to happen or not by Thursday.
Some lawmakers now telling 13 News, State House reporter Emily Longnecker, that they do expect the vote will be a close one. Emily.
Yeah, last night, some Republicans on the Senate's Elections Committee who voted to pass the redistricting bill on to the next step said they reserved the right to change their vote when this bill gets its final vote, which is expected on Thursday. Today, senators adopted the report from last night's Elections Committee, a process that lasted only minutes. Monday, lawmakers on that committee spent several hours hearing testimony from close to 130 Hoosiers about redistricting and the proposed map. Some were for it, some were against it. The redistricting bill passed out of committee by a vote of 6-3. Republican State Senator Liz Brown says she believes the votes are there to get the redistricting bill over the finish line and said it's not uncommon to see lawmakers in committee vote one way but reserve their right to change their minds when it comes to a final vote on a bill.
And I think a lot of us feel that way in a committee. You never know what's going to happen. There might be some amendments that they think are good or bad or whatever. So we don't always publicly state that, just like unless this current climate, we often don't tell people the public where we're going to be on a bill. We know where we're going to be, or we're still waiting for more information. So I wouldn't use that as a weather vane of some sort to figure out where they're going to go.
And Senate President Pro Tem Roderick Bray said earlier this week that we'll all find out together on Thursday if the votes are there to pass redistricting. As for amendments that could be proposed tomorrow on second read, Senate Democrats tell me they plan to offer some. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Yeah. Big day ahead tomorrow, Emily. Thank you. Also today, Indiana University leaders outlined the progress they're making to expand opportunities at campuses across the state. They want to do this over the next 5 years. So here's the university's main goal. A number of goals here. IU wants to add more degrees in high-demand fields like engineering, artificial intelligence, and biosciences, and expand research opportunities with hundreds of millions of dollars of investments toward new facilities like the STEM Lab and Biosciences building at 16 Tech here in Indy. And they appear to be well on their way. This year, IU actually became the first public university to surpass $1 billion in annual research investments.
IU 2030 is our roadmap, clarifying what we must do today to reach the future that we imagine. And I'm deeply proud of all we've achieved and more energized than ever by where we're headed. Today, I'll walk through.
IU says it's also focused on making college more affordable. Leaders say more than half of IU undergrads now complete their degrees without student loan debt.